Taklamakan Desert is located in the western part of China, also often referred to as the Sea of Death. It is one of the largest sandy deserts on our planet, covering an area of over 300,000 square kilometers, and its main attraction is the work of human hands. It does not attract crowds of tourists. The main reason for this is the extremely harsh local climate, which is not conducive to comfortable travel. Nevertheless, the uniqueness of this attraction cannot be underestimated. We are talking about the Tarim Desert Highway, which allows you to cross this dangerous desert in just one day. Today, we will tell you about one of the most incredible mega projects in the history of China. Enjoy watching. The construction of this unique highway began in 1993 and was completed in 1995. The total length of the highway is 522 kilometers. Approximately 446 kilometers of it run through uninhabited areas covered with sand dunes. Due to the absence of any population living in these areas, it becomes the longest highway of its kind in the world. The construction cost about $14 million per kilometer of road. This project is a source of pride for the Chinese. During its construction and subsequent operation, they had to face numerous challenges, including scorching temperatures exceeding 50 degrees Celsius and sandstorms. After the highway was built, it was repeatedly covered with sand, making traffic difficult. Something had to be done. To prevent the highway from falling into the hands of the desert, engineers decided to plant drought-resistant trees and shrubs on both sides of the highway. Specialists spent 5 years compiling a list of the most suitable plants, including various types of willow and sixal. In 1999, as part of the project, the selected plants were planted along a 6-kilometer site. A couple of years later, they had spread to over 30 kilometers of the road. In 2003, the project received final approval from the authorities. An artificial irrigation system of incredible scale was created to irrigate the vegetable plantations. Water is pumped through wells from the aquifer at a depth of more than 100 meters, where a real underground sea has been discovered. This water contains a large amount of dissolved salts. But despite this, the plants have managed to survive. Currently, the width of the plantations along the road is approximately 70 meters, covering a total area exceeding 3,000 hectares. Approximately 400 kilometers along the highway are lined with trees and shrubs. It's truly incredible that Chinese engineers succeeded in growing a strip of forest in one of the driest places in the world. To maintain the irrigation system, special stations had to be built every 4 kilometers. In total, 100 workers are employed at these stations, and they sign contracts for up to 2 years. They are allowed to bring their family members with them. This type of work is a real find for those who dream of living far away from other people. It somewhat resembles the job of a lighthouse keeper, but instead of a sea view, they have a view of a sea of sand from their windows. Several restaurants and a gas station for the Chinese company PetroChina have been built on the sides of the Tarim Desert Highway. Except for the workers who maintain the irrigation system, the region is completely uninhabited. The road connects 2 cities, Minfeng and Luntai. However, the Chinese undertook such a complex and costly project, not for the sake of these cities. The construction was driven by a different purpose. The reason is that the Taklamakan Desert has significant oil and gas reserves, specifically within the Tarim oil and gas basin. This basin holds 30% of China's oil and gas reserves. The first oil discovery in the region dates back to the mid-20th century. During those times, due to a lack of geological knowledge about the region, it was not possible to fully assess the wealth hidden in the desert. In the late 1970s, the Chinese authorities decided to focus their attention on the Tarim Basin. In September 1984, specialists managed to discover oil on the edge of the Taklamakan Desert. They then began exploring oil wells in the depths of the desert. In 1989, as a solution to the oil transportation problem, the idea of constructing a road was proposed. This is how the unique Tarim Desert Highway came into existence, a grandiose road that has no equal on the planet. The Tarim Desert Highway resembles a long black dragon gliding through the sand. Traveling along this amazing highway can give an unforgettable experience. The endless and majestic desert, the whistle of the wind, and the towering dunes create a feeling as if you have landed on another planet. Perhaps we have yet to fully appreciate the importance of the experience of the Chinese specialists who built the Tarim Desert Highway. But many scientists suggest that climate change on Earth will lead to the transformation of some green areas of our planet into deserts. In this regard, the experience gained by the Chinese in their research and the engineering solutions they have developed could prove incredibly valuable for all of humanity. However, the Chinese didn't stop there. Most recently, China built the world's first railway loop around a desert. The 825-kilometer Hotan-Ruoqiang line runs along the edge of the same Taklamakan Desert in the Xinjiang Autonomous Region. The construction pace was typical for China. Just like with the highway construction, engineers had to contend with extreme temperatures, wind, sand, and sandstorms. Laying a railway track in the Taklamakan Desert is the first project of its kind in the world. According to the pro-government Xinhua news agency, the 825-kilometer railway section connects the city of Hotan with the Ruoqiang district in Inner Mongolia, in the autonomous region of Xinjiang. This allowed for a complete loop around the entire desert on its outskirts. On average, the railway tracks were laid at a rate of 2 kilometers per day. The launch of this unique route, named the Hero Railway, took place last year. The construction of the Hero Railway began in December 2018. The goal was to provide a regional mainline for freight transportation in central and western China, and another significant objective of the new railway was to create an international corridor connecting China's western and inland regions. Improving the infrastructure would also contribute to the economic and social development of Xinjiang province, one of the country's poorest regions. It's worth noting that this is a large and sparsely populated area, covering 1/6 of China's total land area. With a design train speed of 120 kilometers per hour, the railway line reduced the travel time between Hotan and Xinjiang province and Xining in Qinghai province from 3 days to just 1. The project connected Xinjiang province to a network of railway lines, including routes of the New Silk Road, the largest trade route in China's history connecting with the rest of the world. The total length of the single-track railway line is 825.5 kilometers, and there are 20 stations along the route. During the peak of construction, about 1,200 workers were employed on the construction site. Construction conditions were extremely challenging due to scorching temperatures of up to 50 degrees Celsius and other weather challenges. Similar to the highway construction, the railway tracks often became buried in sand after frequent desert storms, but a solution was already in place to address this issue. To counter the impact of sandstorms, a natural covering was created along the railway line. An area of 50 million square meters of grass and 13 million shrubs and trees were planted. The survival rate of these plants reached 85%. China entered its third decade of the Go West strategy, aimed at reducing the economic gap between less developed western regions and the wealthier eastern parts of the country. According to the adopted plan, Xinjiang region was to strengthen its position as a vital Chinese communication hub in the west. Xinjiang borders Tibet to the south, Qinghai and Gansu provinces to the southeast, Mongolia to the east, Russia to the north, and Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India-controlled Kashmir to the west. Over the course of the 13-year plan, Xinjiang invested 4.1 trillion yuan into capital funds and accelerated the construction of transportation and municipal infrastructure. In 5 years, 30,000 square kilometers of roads and 1,530 kilometers of railway tracks were constructed in Xinjiang. Additionally, 22 airports were built, and railway connectivity has reached all prefectures and cities in Xinjiang. In addition to the Hero Railway project, 2 more railway lines are planned. One is the restoration project of the Lanzhou-Xinjiang Railway from Jiayuguan to Urumqi, and the other is a project from Aksu to RR. This information is reported by the pro-government Xinhua news agency. Write in the comments which of these 2 mega projects you like the most. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the Kara Show channel. Also, check out our previous videos. See you later.